Alright, Darksiders, so I wanted to hop on and discuss a little bit of movie and entertainment news with you. Now, some of this stuff you all probably already know because some of it's not breaking, and I'm really making this video more to get your opinion on it. So, let's start with Tom Hardy as possibly the next Bond. So, we know at this point that this is a rumor, but we do also know that he does have some interest in the role. But my question to you is, do you think that he would make a good Bond? So, here are my thoughts about this. I definitely think that in some aspects he has the looks. I think the issue that I have with Tom Hardy being Bond is that we've never really seen him play a role where he's been really suave. We've always seen him for the most part in stuff where he's kind of just had a hard edge about him, you know, The Revenant or Mad Max and things like that. So I'm not sure if he can pull off the suave factor enough to be Bond. I'm also not sure if he has the subtlety in his ability to act in some of the instances where you need that subtlety for the Bond character that Daniel Craig and the Bonds before him pulled off so well. I still actually like Idris Elba as the front runner because I feel like he has all of those factors and it would be interesting to see him in that role. But I'm wondering what you think about Tom Hardy as the next Bond. You like it? Yes, no? How are you feeling about that? And also, who would you like to see direct the next Bond movie? So those are questions for the Dark Side community. Let me know what you think about that. All right, next, so let's talk about Cavill. By now, you all know that Henry Cavill has signed a 3-movie deal to be Superman. So we do officially have him back in the DCEU. But here's the question, what would you like to see from him in the DCEU in terms of those 3 movies? What kind of movies would you like to see? I'm just curious to know what storylines you guys would like to see him bring to the big screen. Now for me, I'm excited about this because he wanted to play the role. So it's good if you have somebody with Cavill's stature that wants to play the role, that likes the source material, then let them play the role. And for me, he is the best Superman we've had on screen since Christopher Reeves. Brandon Routh was not bad as Superman, but look, tone, feel, all of that, to me, there's no question that he is the best Superman we have had cinematically since Christopher Reeves. Nobody can top Christopher Reeves in my opinion. He just embodied that role so well from Clark Kent to Superman. He was the GOAT as far as I'm concerned, playing Superman on the big screen. But I like Cavill in this role. I'm excited to see him back. And we know what's coming, right? We know that there's going to be some kind of conflict probably between him and Black Adam, and of course the rumors are that he will be in Shazam 2 and the Black Adam movie. So we know all of that's built, and we also get a hint of some of that from some of the stuff that's gone on with The Rock and negotiations and all that kind of good stuff. So I'm happy to see him back, but I want to know what you want to see from him as we move forward with this 3-movie deal in the DCEU. So next, for all of my Lovecraft Country fans, I want to talk a little bit about Jonathan Majors, who at this point we understand is slated to play Kang the Conqueror in the MCU. Now here's why his character is important, because I feel like he can do a lot for the MCU, and now the MCU is really ratcheting things up in terms of time travel. And I've said this before, it opens up just a whole crazy big world of possibilities when you bring in characters like Kang the Conqueror, or when you bring in characters like we had before with Thanos, or when you bring in storylines like the Multiverse of Madness. This gives us so much expansive material that we can bring into the MCU. So I'm excited about that. And at first I was a little iffy about Jonathan Majors playing Kang the Conqueror because I think his performances are great in Lovecraft Country, but I'm like, I don't know if I could see him as Kang the Conqueror. But check this image out. So when I see this fan art of him, I'm like, yeah, it works. It works. So it'll be fascinating to see how well he pulls this role off, and I'm excited for him because this is a big boost for his career to be able to be someone like Kang the Conqueror, who is probably one of the biggest villains that we know in the MCU, and to have the types of abilities that Kang has with time travel and all that good stuff. So it'll be interesting to see what Jonathan does with this role, and I'm wondering how you all feel about him as Kang the Conqueror, or did you have someone else in mind that you'd like to see in that role? Cobra Kai. So my question here is this: do you think that the younger actors in this show are actually strong enough to pick Cobra Kai up, let's say Cobra Kai / Karate Kid, and carry this franchise on into something fresh and new to really revitalize the franchise, maybe even give it a bit of a reboot, but a successful one, and maybe some new movies surrounding Cobra Kai or Karate Kid with some appearances from some. Do you think that that's possible with the younger cast of Cobra Kai that we have right now? So that's a question that I have for you. My thought about that is I think that they do pretty well, but I think that it might be difficult if you don't have some of the supporting cast in newer works of Cobra Kai, just because a lot of us love it because of the nostalgia factor. But Cobra Kai also has a decent younger fan base as well. So it'd be interesting to see if something like that could take off. And I just wanted to know your thoughts about that. Thank you guys for sharing this bit of movie news with me. If you like this, make sure that you click right here and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you on the next video. Peace.